Okay, looks like we're live. Welcome everybody. We're glad that you're here. Today is day 5 of our Christmas mini series. Today I have something really fun for you guys. I think it should be really cool. And so it's cookies. You can't go wrong with cookies, right? So I have some wonderful sugar cookies. It's my favorite recipe. And I'm going to put it down below this screen. Yesterday I did a recipe also. I told you that I would make a blog post about it. But I thought instead of doing a blog post about it and sending you to different places, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post the recipe down below the videos. So, so if you just come back and watch the videos later on, they'll be there. And I think that'll work out really well. So yeah, this video and yesterday's video will both have recipes below them by the end of the day today. So yeah, look for those. This recipe, this cookie recipe, is a really, really good recipe. I love it. I actually sat there and ate it like all day. I ate a bunch of it. So I don't normally eat cookie dough because, you know, I don't know. But I seriously just want to tell them this stuff because it's good. And I am really picky about my sugar cookies because I don't like them really crunchy and crispy, and I don't like them really like hard, you know, chewy, I guess. I don't know. They need to be just the perfect amount of soft to chew, and they, you know, you don't want them crunchy. You don't want them crumbling apart on you. So this cookie recipe is my favorite by far, and I love it. So, and since I have so much going on today, because I'm going to show you how to mix it, I'm going to show you how to, well, explain how to bake it, and then show you a little simple decoration. So since I have so much going on today, I have my daughter here. She's my little assistant. She wants to come on and say hi. She wants to be famous too. So this is Megan, my cutie. You say hi?
Hi.
All right. Okay, so she's going to be helping me out and moving stuff around and all of that. In fact, Megan, I left the cookie dough up in the fridge. Can you go grab that for me, please? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the recipe. We're going to just jump right into this. I'm going to switch the angle of the camera so you guys can see what's going on here. And as you can see, I have a wire in the way. Sorry, I couldn't avoid that. I guess I need an extender cable for that. But okay, so what we have here is all of our ingredients for, let me pull this off, for making our sugar cookies. We have, first ingredient is butter. I have 2 cups of butter. If you guys want to write this down, that's great. If not, then yeah, like I said, I'll have the recipe down below the video on the website. And I forgot, in case you guys are, okay. Okay. And welcome. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and I'll show you guys how to mix things. So butter, I've already mixed it quite a bit. The bottom one. I've mixed it quite a bit already. So what you really are looking for with the butter is just kind of a smooth, it's all blended together. That's what you're going for. I whipped this for maybe 2 minutes, if that, you know. So it just needs to be blended enough that you can take the sugar. So the next ingredient is sugar. This is a super fine sugar, and that's the sugar that I prefer for making sugar cookies. You can use just regular sugar, or you could even use a powdered sugar. I actually prefer the super fine because it's kind of an in-between. It's between the regular sugar and the powdered sugar. It's got a really nice fine grain that you can, I don't know, it's just really soft and smooth. And so the whole purpose of this is so that you don't get that grainy texture to your cookies. And you can actually make superfine sugar out of regular sugar, because this stuff is really expensive. It's like $4 or $5 for like a pound. It's really expensive, a pound or two. So you can actually take your regular sugar, put it in a food processor or a blender, and just blend it for a couple of minutes, and that will turn into a superfine sugar. So there you go. It's a really easy, quick way around having to spend a ton of money. Okay, so I'm going to do this in shifts here. So I'm going to I've got my butter already whipped. We'll add the sugar in until it's really mixed well. Then we'll add in our eggs until it's incorporated, and then we'll add in the flavoring. What I have is 2 eggs. Oh, this was 2 cups of sugar, by the way. So it's 2 cups of butter, 2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs. It's a really simple recipe. And then I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond extract for my flavoring. You can do any kind of flavoring you want. Those are the ones I prefer. I really, really like the combination of flavors. So I'm going to hurry and we'll put this in. And then I won't mix it as long as I usually do. I usually give it a few minutes to really incorporate, and you pour slowly, pour the sugar slowly in. It's kind of the same way that I do my cake batter, at least at the start. So I'll do that, but we'll do it fast, just so that you guys can see. I won't take it because I know it's loud. Okay, just incorporate. You see, I'm just pouring it slowly. There you go. All right, and once you can see that it's all come together, that's really enough mix. You don't need to worry too much about it. Oh, I'll turn it off before I bring it down. I'm used to using my Cuisinart for stuff like this, so my KitchenAid's actually fairly new. So I used to have a KitchenAid, and oh, lovely, that was awesome. Oh well, it's going back in. In just a second here. Okay, mix it up. Make sure it's all incorporated. Okay, and then we'll put it back on. And then we're going to add in our, or you can give me a hard time. Seriously. Sorry. There you go. Okay. All right, so then we're going to add in our eggs. Oh, got lift it up. Okay, here we go. Add in our eggs. One at a time is good, because then you don't have to worry about mixing. There we go. Until they just start to combine. Because really what you have right now, you can see down in there, is just kind of a coagulated mess. But now it's starting to come together. So that's what we need. Okay. And then add in our flavoring. There we go. Until it's incorporated. You don't want to mix this too much. Okay, so then we have that, as you can see. My flavoring is not completely mixed in. You want to make sure it gets mixed in a little bit better than that. But as you can see, we've got a really nice, buttery, smooth because it doesn't have the grains of the sugar like you would normally have, because it is that super fine sugar. That's why I really, really love the super fine sugar in this. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now that we've got that all mixed, we are going to add in our, made a mess down there. Okay, then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. What we have is 6 cups of flour. We have a half of a teaspoon of salt, not very much. And then we have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So there's that. And oh, I was going to bring a whisk to stir that, but I didn't. Oh well. We'll just kind of mix it in. I pre-sifted my flour. You don't have to, but it kind of just ensures that you don't have any lumps in your cookies. So, and I like that. I don't like to have lumps. Okay. And then what you do is just kind of slowly add that into, lift it up. And then you add that slowly. On the low speed. Doesn't go everywhere. It still kind of does. You have the little guards and stuff that you can use, which is fine. I don't worry too much about it. You just add it as soon as you see that it's starting to come together, you add more. You don't want to overmix this. If you overmix it, you're going to end up having problems with the cookie being I can't think of the word. Glutinous is all the word I can think of. And okay, so now I have, this is my cookie mix, but as you can see, it's really kind of dry and it's not all the way mixed together. And that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish by hand, just so that I know that I'm not over mixing it. And I really like this method because it makes sure that you get everything incorporated well, so all of your cookies are uniform and good. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to use my hands here. I brought a rag today, unlike yesterday. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just picking up from the bottom where there's probably quite a bit of flour still at the bottom. So I'm just picking it up and setting it down and just kind of pushing it into the top. And that is going to help us to get it all to come together and combine. Okay. And I won't sit here and do this. I mean, you really should only do this for, like a minute at most. It really doesn't, it's not something you want to do a ton of. You don't want to sit there and knead it like you would like bread dough. Because with bread dough, what you're doing is you're adding in all of this gluten. And we really don't want that with cookies. So, so there you go. This is pretty much how it should be. So once you're done, it should be able to just come together like that. It should be able to form, a decent ball. And then what you'll do is, I would separate this into 2 or 3 different balls, wrap them in some saran wrap, and chill it for like an hour, at least an hour. So. And I'll wash my gunky hands now, and then we'll move on to the next stage. You can go ahead and take that. All right. And, sorry, get that out of my way. And then we're going to roll out our cookie dough. So I have some cookie dough already made that I have had chilling in the fridge. You want to give it a good, like an hour-ish at least, so it can firm up a little bit. It'll be a lot easier to roll out, and the main purpose of it, here, we'll put that one in there. The main purpose of chilling is to make sure that your dough doesn't, when you bake it, it doesn't kind of spread everywhere, because we don't want cookies that spread. We want nice cookies. When we make the shape, we want it to stay that shape. And I think that's the biggest issue that people have with their cakes, or with their cookies, I mean, is that, their cookie dough is not staying in the correct shape. It like goes flat on them and spreads out. And that just, it doesn't look good. And, sometimes you have a method where you take the same cookie cutter and then you cut out a piece of fondant and put it on the top of your cookie when you're done. And if it's spread too much, it's not going to match up very well. So the whole point of this is to get a cookie that is going to not spread, but still taste really yummy. So that's what we're gonna do. Here we go. We've got our dough, and it's really firm still. We may have to pound on this for a minute. I hope that's not going to be a problem. In fact, I may mute it while I do this. But if you get your cookie dough and it's just so stiff that it's really hard to, you guys probably can't see that it's really hard to work, then you probably just, I'll do it once or twice, but you just take the end of your rolling pin and you pound it like that. And I don't want to hurt anybody's ears, so I don't know how that's reacting to the microphone. But okay, so to start rolling, I'll just put a lot of pressure on. So these right here, these are little sticks they're 3/8 inch in thickness. That's the thickness that I like for my cookies. You can go anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8. I wouldn't go any thicker, but I wouldn't go any thinner than 1/4 inch. The thickness really does matter, because if you've got a cookie that's too thin, you're going to run into the cookie being just really crispy, and it's not going to taste as good. So that the thicker the cookie, the more soft it's going to be once it's baked. Okay. All right, so then we're gonna go this way. And these little things right here are to gauge the thickness. So I don't roll any thinner than this. Okay, and that also ensures that I get a nice, even cookie. Because if you have a spot that's a lot thinner than another spot, this spot's gonna bake a lot faster than this spot. So it's definitely something you want to be aware of. Okay, so there we go. That is our cookie dough, all the exact shape that you want, or the thickness that you want. So now we're not going to use a cookie cutter. If you have like a triangle or a Christmas tree or a, whatever, you can use whatever cookie cutters you want. But I wanted to show you guys something really super simple. So we're just going to take our rotary blade, and we're just going to cut here and cut here. We're going to discard the rest. Well, we'll set it aside. You can reuse it. Okay, so then what we're going to do is take our blade, and we're just going to make triangles. Okay, and this makes really good use of your dough. So you just go like that. Oh, I just dug into it. That's lovely. I'm trying to show you guys and get the right angle. Okay, so just gonna cut our little triangles. And that is going to be our little Christmas trees once we're done. Okay, so then we can take and move them off of our spatula. If you're concerned about the cookie misshaping when you pick it up. Usually that happens because your cookie dough is not chilled and not firm. And so it's not as easy to pick up and it will mush around and everything. If it's chilled, see how easy it is to just, pick it up. If it's a really delicate, like cookie cutter shape, you may want to roll this out on some parchment paper and then just take the excess cookie dough out from around it. And then you don't have to mess with moving things. So, but we're just gonna put this on a cookie sheet. I already have some cookies here already made. But just go ahead and set them on there. If you are using a surface that might stick when you're rolling it out, use a little bit of flour. Don't use too much. You don't want to dry it out. But there you go. There's your cookies. You can stick those in the oven. Actually, you know what? I would suggest, these are nice and chilled still. They're pretty firm. But if you let these get soft and then stick them in the oven, they're going to do the spreading. And so make sure you stick these back in the fridge for just a couple of minutes until they're nice and firm and chilled again. And then you can take them out and put them in the oven, directly in the oven. So once they're done baking, you take them off and you take the parchment off of the cookie sheet and onto a cooling rack right when you take it out of the oven, because otherwise it's going to keep cooking on the bottom of the pan and you're going to get a really crisp cookie. And we really don't want that. So there you go. Okay, so now we have our cookies here, and these are going to be little Christmas trees. See that? It's so fun. So we're going to go super, super simple, and it's actually going to match the little Christmas trees, the little mini Christmas tree cakes that we did the other day, and I think it'll be lots of fun. Clean off my surface here. All right, so we're going to use fondant. You can use a royal icing to pour on. You can put like a poured sugar. I do have a recipe for that I really like. I'm not a huge fan of the royal icing cookies. I really like the glaze a lot better. So you can use whatever you would like, but I prefer the glaze just because I like the taste of it better. Apparently the royal icing works a lot better as far as the colors don't bleed as much with the royal icing as it does with the glaze. If you're doing a real detailed cookie, I would recommend the royal icing. But if it's just a fairly simple design, I would go with the glaze, or maybe even do your main whatever with the glaze and then do decorations with royal icing. That would work also. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to roll out some fondant. Megan, I need a paintbrush from up there. Can you grab me one? A fairly large one. Okay, so we have our fondant rolled out. This is actually really pretty thick. You can go as thin as you want or as thick as you want, depending on how you like your, the ratio of cookie to fondant. I know that a lot of people don't care for fondant, but a lot of people just don't understand that fondant can taste good. And so make a few cookies and put some fondant on it, and they'll love them. And then you'll say, guess what was on that? It was fondant. So, okay, so what we have here is our little triangle for our little cookie. And see how well it stayed? It didn't, run all over. And you even see the crisp edges, which I really, really love. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cookie as kind of a template. You don't really want to set it on it because you might get crumbs on your fondant, which you don't really want. So just kind of set it over and just kind of gauge where, and we'll do about there. Okay, so then when you take it off, you're going to put it right down on your cookie and it'll fit just right. Okay, so if you really want to make a template, if you aren't comfortable, you can make a template and cut out each cookie exactly the same, or and then cut the fondant out exactly the same if you really want to. But these are simple. We're going for easy, so don't worry too much about that. So now we have. You can stick this down with frosting, or you can use corn syrup, or you can use like an apricot glaze. Whatever you would like to use. I'm just going to use just a simple corn syrup. That's perfect, thank you. Usually use a pastry brush, which I forgot to grab, so we're using a little paintbrush. But just do a little thin coat on your cookie, just like that. And then you'll just take your fondant and lay it down right on top of your cookie. If you let your fondant sit for a minute, you don't end up with the edges like moving and shifting, and it'll firm up just a little bit, and then you get a better, finished edge to your fondant. But there you go. There is our perfect tree shape right there. And then we're just going to take, you can do the same thing that you did last time with the airbrush and spray like a luster spray on it, which I really, really, really love. And I probably would have done today, but yeah, I was worried about time. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do a couple of dots here and there with our corn syrup, just tiny, tiny little dots, random places on our little cookie here on the top. Okay, and in those same places, I'm sure you probably can't see where the corn syrup is, maybe barely, but you'll just stick the little dragées. Oh, don't claw it like I did with your fingernails. Tweezers are really good for stuff like this, for little fine details, but I'll set this down and finish it. But go ahead and just set those all on there. And of course, you can come up with your own designs and all of that, but this is a really fast and easy, cute little cake, or I keep saying cake, I'm all about the cake. So, but yeah, this cute little cookie that you can take to your neighbors or sell on, in your shop and get some extra Christmas cash. I guess that would be more for next year, but recover from Christmas, I guess. Use it to recover from shopping for Christmas. Okay, so there you go. There's our little, whoops, dragées everywhere. Love it. Okay, but there's our little cute cookie all ready for Christmas. And these, I think, are so fun. I love them. Okay, so do we have, I'll come look over here and see if we have any questions. I don't think I saw any coming through. Nope, I think we're good. So anyway, here you go. These are your cute little Christmas cookies. And tomorrow we'll be back with one more design. Tomorrow's our last day. So hope you guys enjoyed today. If you really liked what you saw today, make sure you share with everybody. Let them know that, that this video is available as a replay. Anybody can come on and watch it. And like I said, I will sit down and put the recipe down below as soon as I am off the air. And so within the next hour or so, you should be able to see this recipe and go ahead and make some lovely cookies to send to give to your friends. You want a cookie, Megan? You want to come over here? And thank you to my cute little Megan for her help today. So there you go. There's your cookie. You get to taste it and tell them what you think. What do you think? Good? All right. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.